Now, if you've been having weird and wacky dreams today, is there a meaning behind them? Our dream analyst, Davina Mackail, is with us this morning. For those people who have been having really bad nightmares then, and they're phoning you today, is there always a meaning behind them?
Pretty much so, yes. Particularly nightmares, because our unconscious is basically the brain or the body's way of reorganising itself. So there's always the ones that really draw our attention, that make us wake up with a jolt, whatever. That is a real message trying to get through.
There are so many people calling us today,
yeah.
So let's shoot to Amy straight away. Amy, who have you got for us?
OK, let's go straight to Colette on line 1.
Hello, Colette.
Good morning.
There's Davina. Say good morning to Davina and shoot away.
Good morning, Davina.
Morning. And your dream is?
Sorry, I couldn't hear the sound this time. It was a bizarre dream. I was dreaming, I came down into my living room, and there was a rat running around the living room. So I chased it, caught it, and it jumped onto my finger. I couldn't shake it off. Then I woke up, obviously, looked at my finger, it was fine. But then I went into work, and I was suspended. So obviously I feel that this rat must have meant something to me. Wrongly suspended, by the way.
Wrongly suspended.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's quite interesting because rats often, I mean, obviously it's what rats mean to you, but most of us have associations with rats that they're quite sneaky creatures, they're dirty, a bit scary, we don't particularly like them, we don't relate to them. So it is quite interesting. I wonder, particularly that you say that you were wrongly suspended, that somebody at work was kind of plotting against you.
Correct.
So
that is
what
correct.
Finger was it that it bit? Can you remember?
My left index.
Your left index finger. So that is also to do with relationships. That finger, so obviously it was about your relationship at work because it severed your relationship with who you were working with, and the fact that it just bit off the tip, it's like it didn't devour you or all of you. So there is a possibility that that could be resolved and that the truth would come out, but definitely the rat means that.
So you reckon this was Colette's brain processing all this information?
But you see, because Colette, somewhere in your unconscious at work, you would have had some kind of intuition, even though you didn't know consciously that maybe things weren't quite as they seemed. And so her unconscious can pick up much more of that information than your conscious brain, and then it comes out in your dreams. So it was a good warning of just, not quite soon enough for you.
Colette, we're only cracking on because we've so many calls this morning. Who's next, Amy?
OK, we're going to go to Jill on line 2.
Hello, Jill.
Hi, good
Morning to you. What was your dream, Jill?
About 5 days ago, I came face to face with the devil in my dream.
Sweet mama.
That was horrendous, and I could feel him. I felt fear all down my arms, in my body, and it was his face that I saw, and he had his hand on my jaw, and he tried to overpower me in my dream. Now, I do believe in God. Thank God I do believe in God. And I did manage to overpower him, and the way I got rid of him was I just looked at him in the face and said, Jesus Christ. And he said, he laughed at me and said, you can't get rid of me that easy. So I started shouting, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. And I started shouting that, and he just, when I got really, really mad, and I felt that I was really mad, he just puffed into thin air and just disappeared. And then for 2 hours I had to get my husband up out of bed. And I said to him, I can't go back to sleep. And since then, I've slept with the light on.
I don't like this.
It was horrendous. Can you tell me what that is about, please?
I certainly can, Jill. Jill, the thing is, just relax. You can go back to sleep with the lights off, I promise you. What you've done is a really important piece of inner work there. The devil is an archetype. You believe in God, so you believe in the opposite of it. And our unconscious kind of brings up those archetypes. So in a sense, what you're doing is facing the shadow side in you, facing those parts of yourself that perhaps, you're not happy with, because you like to be a loving, kind person out in the world, as we all do, try to be good and all the rest of it. But we all have those secret little corners inside ourselves that perhaps aren't so pleasant, aren't so lovely. And that, in a sense, the devil is representing that in you, that part of you that's the devil, or the dark side, the shadow that all exists in all of us. So you've done an amazing bit of work in overpowering that and integrating that into yourself. So I'd congratulate yourself, actually.
Can you still feel, Jill, the fear that you had during that dream? Can you feel it now at your conscious?
Of course. I could actually sit down and draw you a picture of his face and what he looked like. I am under a lot of stress in my life. I have 2 young children, and I have a very pressured business life as well.
Sure.
So I'm just wondering if it's coming on from that. I'm not sure where it's coming from or what it's trying to say to me. I'm not sure.
It's exacerbated by that kind of stress, but really you need to know that you've conquered your fears within that dream, that that's not going to play out. You've actually worked hard and well. So kind of and a powerful dream like that, yes, the fear does take a few days to release, but it's a good thing you've done. Well
Jill,
done.
morning to you. Are there any nice dreams today? Let's see, we're going to have nightmares tonight. Who's next, Amy?
I wouldn't say it's such a nice dream, I'm afraid, Stephen. It's Percy on line 3.
Hello, Percy.
Hello.
What's your dream, love?
Well, it's over many years. I can remember them quite well. The first one that I just murdered somebody, but I thought, oh, that's a dream, so that's fine. And then progressively, I've had the same, not every night, not every week, but several times a year, that sometimes I'm going to be found out, sometimes they're going to go to where the body's buried. I'm in collusion with somebody to bury a body.
Percy, can we just establish something before we go on? You haven't ever murdered anyone, have you?
This is why I'm wondering what it means, because it just recently it's become so much more vivid and lucid. I thought, how can I get my DNA into the police just in case I have? Because you know how some things are so awful, you repress them.
I think you'd know, Percy. What's this?
Yes, because but it's,
You don't have a history of sleepwalking, do you, Percy?
What is this about?
Percy, again, we have all these different aspects of ourselves. We're all many different people in our unconscious. We always say, oh, a part of me is like this, a part of me is like that, you know, whatever. And really, in a sense, that part of you that is capable of murder or feeling really angry and sort of peed off about something is just what's coming up in this dream. I wonder if there's anyone
Why
in
a
your
recurring
life...
dream, though?
Yeah, because you're unconscious, you're not working with it. So your unconscious is trying to get a message. So is there somebody in your real life, in your current situation, that you do feel angry and aggressive towards, that you're not able to express at all? You're not able to kind of say to that person, hey, you know, that behaviour's not okay, I'm not feeling comfortable with that. That's what it feels like, that there is something in your life you're not unresolved in terms of expressing it.
Does that person exist in your life, Percy?
I don't think, no, certainly not any longer, but
You've killed them off, haven't you?
Once I read that although I hadn't murdered somebody, it was a setup. That was not only had I not murdered somebody, but I was going to get the same. I was going to get hung the same. I don't mean literally hung, because we don't hang anybody anymore. But I was going to have the consequences of the murder.
Percy, we're nearly out of time.
The same sort of thing.
What I would like to find out, and we're very pushed for time, is what can you do about that if you want a dream to go away?
You have to face the dream, but you can do that in kind of real life. You can also use, like, to stop nightmares, you can use amethyst crystal by your bed and things like that I've brought in here. Yeah, the properties of crystals really help with insomnia and nightmares. So you could have a piece like that on your bedside table, or you could put stone like this under your pillows. They really help in the same way that dream catchers and things do. There's a lot of associations, old associations. But there's masses of ways you can work with nightmares in terms of facing them and working with it out.
It's interesting stuff. OK, thank you so much for coming in today. We could do a whole show on this, couldn't we?